Welcome to The Mystic Fool. I'm Martin Worth, and this is The Mystic Fool. So what's the significance of a past life? Does it really matter if you were a Viking or a farmer? If you were in Egypt or somewhere else? Surely this is this life. And what's the big deal about a past life? You imagine that if every past life issue that had been created by an act or an act of thought by your essential nature throughout time, in any of its incarnations. Imagine if all those issues were actually online right now. Man, you'd be a basket case. Yeah. So yeah, there's a veil, hey, that comes down when we enter this lifetime. The former things shall not be remembered nor called to mind. So, a little verse, believe it or not, out of the Bible that alludes to to past lives. Yeah. It's amazing the spirituality that's hidden in many, shall we call them, sacred texts. Yeah. The Bible's full of it. It's full of bull too, by the way. I knew someone who said the Bible was Bible, half bull, half truth. That's why it's called the Bible. But yeah, the former things shall not be remembered nor called to mind. It's somewhere in the Old Testament, I can't remember where. Look it up, you might find something interesting. Why does it say that? Because it's true. The veil comes down. Yeah. So why fascination in past lives? I guess there is an issue. A past life memory can be triggered in this life. And then the significance of that past life becomes important. Always, because, as I said, if every issue that was created in a past life was online, imagine how many issues you'd have to deal with. Imagine when you were perhaps a Viking marauding through, hacking and chopping as they did in those days, and all of the spirits of the people that you illicitly murdered on the battlefield were all active in your life today. Boy, oh boy, tell you might find yourself in one of those lunatic asylums, and I tell you that's definitely why some of them are there. Because when a past life trauma becomes activated in this lifetime, it is an issue to be resolved. What can activate a past life trauma? Here's a good one. I had a client once who, as a young child, was left alone at age of 6 with her younger brother, look after the baby while mum and dad go out. So responsibility, okay? Because emotion is always the key. Responsibility, the emotion of responsibility of I am responsible for looking after this child, my brother, my younger brother, at 6, mind you. That's okay. Well, it's not okay, but that's what happened. There's an electrical storm, and she goes to close the window, grabs the aluminium frame of the window to close it, and boom, gets hit by lightning. Luckily not bad enough to fry her completely, but she gets thrown across the room. Wow, bang. Okay, that was the action. You got an emotion of responsibility. You got an action of being blown across the room. Great burst of light. It's okay, we clear that dimension. Spirit says it's a past life. Okay, go back to the past life. Client says, I'm getting nothing. I said, okay, why aren't you getting anything? And we transpires that she's in a military hospital. Why are you in a military hospital? Oh, and she's unconscious. In a drug-induced coma. That's why she's not getting anything on the table. Okay. So what happened? Oh my God. There was a blinding flash of light as a bomb went off, and I got blown across the other side of the trench. And now I'm in a military hospital. And I've lost both my legs. Okay. Oh my God, I won't be able to help Mum and Dad on the farm when I get back from the war. I'll be completely useless. I'll be helpless. I'm a spastic. That's the word they used to use for people who were, physically deformed, challenged, whatever the political correct word is. So yeah, clear all that down. Clear it down, and all her life since 6 she felt responsible and felt inadequate and incapable. Yeah, that's how a past life issue can affect you in this life. Do you want another example? There's a guy who was went back to when he was a kid, and he's in his pram, and his brother's. First thing he says when he's doing the healing session on the table, I said, okay, boom, go back to 2 years old. What do you see? Oh, I'm looking at the wheel of a pram. And I said, okay, why? He says, oh, my brother's been put me in the pram and pushing me around the dining table, and thought it'd be fun to stop really quickly, and I got tipped out and landed on the floor. Okay. He said, oh, I wonder why I didn't ever trust my brother. So okay, all right then. Well, what's this got to do with the past life? Because he'd come for a past life, felt intuitively he had a past life to clear. Okay, go back to the past life. What's the first thing you're seeing here? Oh, I'm looking at a broken wagon wheel. So there's the link, you see. There's always a link with the girl with the past life being blown up, being blown across the room by the lightning, being blown across the trench by the bomb. This guy being tossed out of his out of his stroller, and the first thing he sees is the wheel of the stroller. In the past life, he's been thrown out of the wagon. First thing he sees is the wagon wheel. Yeah, so there's always a similarity that occurs, and the emotion is always in there as well. Anyway, the guy with the wagon, that was not a good thing, because they were being chased by, believe it or not, being chased by North American Red Indians after having stolen something from them. Not that he stole it, but the guy who was driving the wagon stole it, and that ended up in a whole world of bows and arrows and such, which is not the point of my story. So yeah, past life trauma can affect us in this life, definitely, but it's always has to be activated. Otherwise, it's not going to affect you. How do you know if a current issue is from a past life? Maybe it's inexplicable. Like I had this inexplicable fear of locusts. the big, browny, khaki-looking grasshopper things. Ugh. Had one jump into my bedroom one day through the open window. Holy shit. Man, I screamed like a little girl. I was freaking absolutely panicking and ran out of the room. I was like a 35-year-old man. Hell. What the heck was that all about? I just had this complete, totally unprecedented fear of these things. And interestingly, quite by coincidence, on another issue, I had a healing. Jumped on the table. Went back to a past life in Egypt, where I was, I was one of the servants to the, I don't know if it was a pharaoh or a guy who was of quite high standing who had died and was being prepared for death. And of course, they used to all the servants used to be also killed and put in the tomb with them so they could serve them in the next life, sort of thing. So I was one of those guys lining up waiting for my turn to be put on the chopping block and mummified to be put in the sarcophagus room with this fellow. And in clearing that life in Egypt, also the byproduct of it was I was never again afraid of locusts. And I think it might have been something to do with, the stories about the plagues of locusts in Egypt. Yeah. But yeah, the link in that life was to do with institutionalization, institutions. The institution of killing all the slaves with the master. And there was a link there. I do not remember exactly what it was, but it was to do with my fear of. Actually, it was to do with my fear of hospitals and dentists. Believe it or not. Nothing like being strapped to a dentist chair when you're a kid back in the day, and there's a dentist coming at you with a pair of pliers to pull your teeth out, or a tooth out, whatever. But that was what woke it up. I guess someone coming at you with a pair of pliers to pull a tooth out in this life as a kid was enough to highlight that Egyptian memory of being come at with a whatever to mummify you. Yeah. Not good, hey? Not good. But yeah, it certainly had its effect on me, and now it's completely cleared. I even like going to the dentist. I like going to the dentist. How's that for weird? All right, this has been a ramble. I hope there's been something in this for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. What resonated for you today? What resonated for you? Let me know. You can leave a comment, please. You can jump on the Facebook page and let me know. You can email me at themysticfool@martinworth.com. Bless you. Love you. And hope the best for you. Be well. And catch ya.